Hi everyone, and welcome to this impromptu video. This period between Christmas and New Year's, I'm just going to be popping on as I have the opportunity to create and share with you. So one of the most requested videos, I guess, that I have at this time of the year is a desk calendar. And there's one desk calendar, the easel one, that every time I ask my friends and clients what they would like, they want this particular one. It's an easel desk calendar. I have made a few and I'm making some more. So I thought, why not share with you? So let's go down to my desktop and see how easy it is to make. All right, so let's do this little transition down as I take you there. And there we go, just like that. There's my instructions, how to get to YouTube. I guess I can do away with that because looks like I am here. Alrighty, just just a couple of reminders. This is approaching the end of December, so the last chance products, you can scan that QR code or go to Lillian's last chance products right there. And you'll see all kinds of things that are sort of gone, and many of them are reduced. So that's important to check out. There's also a special release of designer paper for the month of December. So check out other things while you're there. Now, when you're at the last chance product fling, when you see currently unavailable, that means it's going to be coming back in stock. It just means stock has to be replenished. If you see the words no longer available, it means it's gone and it's not being restocked. And we're sorry, but that's the way it is. The other thing to remind you of is Paper Pumpkin. So Paper Pumpkin has shared the next 3 kits, just little sneak teasers, I guess you could say. This next one is this one here, and it looks just so much fun for Valentine's or weddings or showers or that kind of thing. And then there's this that looks nice and springy, and this, well, I'm really curious about that. When you order Paper Pumpkin, they also often offer a little add-on of some dies. So these dies will coordinate with this, or they can stand alone. So just something to be aware of. So that being said, let's just remind you that these 2 catalogs are available, but they are not live. In other words, you can't order from them until January 7th, but you can contact me to get your copy. If you live locally, you can do the front porch pickup. If you live farther away and you're in Canada, I can mail them to you. Just contact me. They're super. So this is the new mini catalog, new products being released, and this is Celebration. So those of you who are not familiar with this, the items in here you cannot buy. You can only earn them by buying from other products in the Stampin' Up! World. So there we go. So one of the things I shared recently in Pinterest and Instagram and YouTube, sorry for that glare, I didn't catch that earlier, there we go, is was this cat right here. So it looks like a card. It's designed like a card. I even got my inspiration from a card. But when you open it up, you tuck it back like that, and it's an easel calendar. So it just fits nicely on your desk. It goes flat for a presentation. It fits in an envelope even, if you're very careful. And there you go. So I have found that often when I have gifted these, people didn't understand you could tuck this back here. Sometimes when we get all fancy with our folds and we're familiar with them, people who are not crafters don't understand. So I have learned to put this little information thing here, tuck bottom edge up front behind the post-it note to form an easel. So that's how it works right there. So let's see how this is made. It's really quite straightforward, and it's not different from making a card. So first off, what you're going to need is you're going to need 3/4 of a piece of regular cardstock. So we're going to use our regular card size for the easel itself. So this is 4 1/4 by 11, and then it is scored at 2 3/4, right there, and 5 1/2. Now 5 1/2 is our usual score mark for, it's the halfway mark. 2 3/4 is the halfway between here. So when we're making Z fold cards, this is quite often the fold we make. So we're going to fold it in half, just like that. Bring in our bone folder and burnish that fold. And often when we're making a Z fold card, we would go like this. We're going to go, instead, we're going to go in. So we're going like that, and see how it's lining up with the fold. So it's the halfway mark. So now we have a shape that looks like that. And that's going to form the easel part of our card. So just like that. So we can put that to the side now. And we're going to bring in a quarter sheet. So this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's the exact same size as our card front. Just like that. We're going to work on here and basically build a card. So because I have been limited in my craft room time, I have been getting inspiration from projects I have done previously. So what we're doing today, my inspiration came from this framed piece that I did a while back. The frames are from the Happy House Plants kit. So you get 4 frames and you get 4 different designs. But I just, I love these. These can be changed over into cards if you want. But I love the frames and I just find them the perfect size. So we're going to case this right here. So we'll put those to the side. And that being said, we are bringing in the Country Woods designer paper. So there's all kinds. The one that we're going to use is this one right here today. But I've only got bits and pieces. But this has got that rustic wood grain, almost beachy, some of it, types of paper. And I actually reach for it quite often. So we're going to bring in this paper. This is Misty Moonlight because it matches that there. Then I'm also bringing in a piece of Pool Party because it matches this color right here. And this is a 4 1/4, not 4 1/4, this is 4 by 5 1/2. And then I'm bringing in a piece of basic white, and this is just 1/8 of an inch smaller. So it's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So we've got, these are going to be our layers. So when we are designing this, the one thing we do have to remember is that the calendar is going to fit down here. So we have to keep our design up here, but we're still going to keep that same basics design. So we need a house, right? So I'm bringing in the Humble Home Builder Punch. It's part of the bundle, and it is going to be carried forward, but I believe that you have to buy them separately in the future. But if you buy them as a bundle, then you save 10%. And I love both for all kinds of reasons. So I'm going to punch this out. Because I've got the wood stripes here, I am trying to keep them somewhat equal. So when you punch it out, you get that. You also get a little heart, and when you flip it over, it's blue, and that's what I am wanting with that. You also get a little window, which I don't know where it went, but it's somewhere in there. Then I brought back in this Friends for Life die. So I have used this before. It's in the annual catalog, and I'm using this die right here. I love this. So let's bring that in. And I have already run it through. Now you'll notice I ran it through with the die on this label, this here, because that's going to be covered over, right? So we will take that to the side and keep that right here. So when you use this die, there's just a little bit that isn't cut all the way through, and you can just snip that. But what we want is what's left in the die itself. So I'm going to poke that out. like that. So we've got that piece. Now for this, I am going to just snip it and use it on another project in the future because nobody's going to know that hole is in there. So there we've got that. We can put this to the side so we don't lose it. There we go. This is what we're going to use, and what I'm going to do right now is actually add my adhesive to it. I should have used an adhesive sheet, but I didn't. So I am going to add adhesive to it and let it dry until it's tacky. So we're going to bring in, this is the multi-purpose liquid glue. For small projects, I should have made sure it was working. I put them in this, I put some in this little container here, and it just make even easier to control the amount coming out. Whoops. You can always put a little puddle and use a sponge or something to put it on, whatever. So I'm just going to put that to the side and let that become tacky. The other thing I wanted to do was to add some texture. Now in the frame, I didn't add texture. I kept it nice and flat and it would look beautiful like that. But I thought, oh, I wouldn't mind adding some texture to this. So I brought in the Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder. It's in the September to December mini catalog. So we're going, and I've already run it through. So we'll substitute that in like that. And I'm thinking it's carried forward, but I can't remember. So we're actually, we're actually going to put our layers together right now while that heart is becoming tacky. So I'm going to put this to the pool party. I'll put one through the middle too. There we go. Oops, I didn't mean to do that, but that's okay. We will just hold it in the air. There, I think I've got my borders pretty equal. See how the glue's poking through? That could have been messy, but I caught it. And I'm going to now add this to this layer here, which would, if we were making a card, this would be the card front. Just like that. Now I'm going to make a plan. This is going to go here, and I'm going to keep it up from the bottom a little bit, and I'll explain why here. So when it tucks behind the Post-it note, you don't want your calendar right at the bottom where it's going to be sort of caught there. So you want, it doesn't have to be much, but it needs to be a bit of a border there. So we've got, so I'm going to put this here, and although this is still tacky, I am, well, I'll just bring my die in. Let's make the plan. So if this went here and this went here, that's pretty close. Okay, so let's bring in my pool party heart. So the tail end is going to actually be behind the calendar. I'm going to keep the upper ends up here, and I'm going to show you other calendars. You can do this with whatever you have on hand. And some of you, I can hear you, where do I get the calendars? Message me and I will send you the link. There's a Canadian demonstrator who actually will mail them to you for $1.25 each calendar, and they'll go arrive right in your mailbox. So I have used a strong adhesive, tear and tape, and I've already put it on here. I was in the middle of making these and I thought, well, I should share this. So I want it to stick really well because people are going to be tearing off their calendar. So we're going to fasten the calendar on next, and that's so that we can sort of have a better idea of placement for our little house. So we're going to remember, keep it up a little bit, and then otherwise I'm just centering it like that. Now I haven't pressed it down, but it looks pretty straight to me from here. So there we go. So we've got that. So now all we have to do is add our little house, And I'm going to put this on dimensionals. So I have just started doing this with my dimensionals. I saw somebody else share it. So they've put packing tape, you know, the tape you wrap your parcels for the mail with, over the back, and then pressed it down really hard. And then when you peel it back, all of the backings stay on the packing tape, and you don't have to peel backings off of your dimensionals. So I wasn't sure how I would like it. I've discovered I am really liking it, and I think I will be doing it with my minis as well, because those are always a bit of a pain to get the backing off, at least for me. There we go. So now we've got this. We will put that on here just however we like it. And I chose on my calendar not to have any words. You could definitely add words, something inspirational or encouraging, that kind of thing. I think I need to move it over a little bit. There. Okay, again, I am going to take a second look, and with this grid on the background, it helps you to line it up. There we go. Now I want to do just add a couple more things. I'm going to put a little bow there. Remember on this one here, I used linen thread. This is what I'm using is called the Natural Tones linen thread. So it comes in 3 colors. You can see I've been enjoying it. If you're looking for it, it's in the this mini catalog. Is in with the birds, but I find I am using this thread for everything under the sun. So just to be aware. So we're going to do that. We're also going to add the little heart like that, just like wasn't in the sample. So there we go. We'll bring in some of our adhesive. I like to use my take your pick tool, and when it's little, I like to put the adhesive right on the project and then add like that. And I do the same with the bow. Even you can use a mini glue dot, or you could, if you're patient, you can use the liquid adhesive and just hold it for a minute or two or a second or two, and then it sticks down. Now we just need some embellishments. And this is a sneak peek. These embellishments are going to be in the upcoming mini catalog, the one I showed you at the beginning, and they're called the Two-Tone Sparkle Gems. And look at how sparkly they are. And they seem to pick up whatever color they're on. They really work well, and they work beautifully, I think, with this. So let's add a few here. We can never have too many embellishments, right? So, let's put one here, a big one, and we'll put a little one, right there, and another little one just by the heart to draw some attention to the heart. So as you can see, all we've done basically is make a card, but we've put the calendar down here. So now we need to turn it into an easel calendar. So let's bring our card base back. So remember, it is folded like this. We are only going to put adhesive on here. And remember, this is the same size, so everything is going to line up beautifully. So we can be generous with our glue here. So I like to fold it a little bit just to remind me. Sometimes I even tuck this underneath, so it just gives me a little more definition. I still don't take the adhesive to the edges because it smooshes out, right? So we've got it like that. Now you can line it up just on your own, or you can do what I like to do and bring in something with an edge, either my Simply Scored or this, and I'm going to tuck this down in here so it's nice and snug against those two edges. And then I'm going to bring this in. Now remember, you want the bottom going that way though, and put that in nice and snug. And everything should line up beautifully, just like that. So now all we need is something down here. We've got everything else done. So what I do down there is I bring in a Post-it note, and these are the, I think 3x3, but I should double check. Yeah, 3x3 ones. The hardest part is getting into the Post-it notes always. And we're going to remove the plastic, and then we're going to bring our tear and tape back in. And I find it, if you try to use the sticky part of the Post-it note, it isn't strong enough. But if you put tear and tape on here, you are good to go. So again, I am going to be generous. So I'm going to put 3. Just like that. And I'm going to press it down and then bring my Take Your Pick tool in and come from the side and just remove the protective backing. And now it's sticky on both sides, or sticky on this side. So now what we're going to do is I want the opening to go up. So I want to put it in about here. So for me, it's easier to do it upside down. So whatever works for you. And I'm just going to rest it, just like I did with the calendar, and then turn it around and see if it seems straight. And it's pretty good. I'm looking for pretty equal on this, and then a little bit down here. So it seems pretty good to me. Now you could add a little extra here if you wanted, but I'm going to go with that. And just like that, we have made our easel calendar, and we're going to do our little bit of instructions right here. And just like that, it folds nice and flat. It will go in the mail with extra postage, but it's easy to do presentation in an envelope. Our clear envelopes are lovely for this. So there is that one. So here I've got one that's flat, so I can put them together so you can see the two right here. Here is the one that was inspired by a card I did several months ago. So this is the seaside one. So there's that one. And then I was looking through some of my other cards, and I came across this card here. So this was a fun fold that I shared a while back, and I thought I like that. And for some of the guys in my life, I think that would be a good calendar. I need to get more Post-it notes, but so this is what this one would look like. So let's just see, there's that one there. And my goal is to maybe make one. Remember this card I shared just recently? I think this would be great. I could move this up a little bit and put the calendar across the bottom where the words are. So you can do all kinds of different designs. It is a card turned into an easel calendar. So hopefully that's inspired you. Remember, reach out if I can help you in any way, whether you want to know where to order the calendars or any of these products. You can go to my website right here. You can contact me all different ways. So thank you so much for joining me, and you can let me know which one of these designs. Here's the 3 basic ones.